We are the #1 player in beauty worldwide. Innovation is at the heart of everything we do. Beauty is not a demand-driven market, actually. You create consumer demand with innovation, products that are never seen before. That's going to be the most challenging thing. To engage our consumers in the sustainable revolution is going to be the big topic of the coming 10 years. At L'Oréal, you can propose pretty much any idea. You'll be listened. If you have a workforce that is extremely consistent and all the same, you're going to get one kind of idea. And of course, the more diverse the approach, the more angles you will have to judge what the best solution is, and usually the better the solution. When you work for the beauty industry, you work for pretty essential human needs. Hello, my name is Patrick. I am the Managing Director for L'Oréal Thailand, Myanmar, Laos and Cambodia. I've been working at L'Oréal for 28 years and I've been in Thailand for the past 3 years. Before that, I worked in many different areas. I worked a little bit in France, I worked in Brazil, I worked in a lot in Asia actually. I've spent quite some time in Japan, I worked in China, in Singapore, and now in beautiful Thailand. We are the #1 player in beauty worldwide. We're also the #1 player in beauty in Thailand. The first thing is we were founded by a scientist, a chemist, who invented probably the most exciting beauty innovation that you can dream of, because it's the only immediate anti-aging that actually works. It's called hair color. Oxidative hair color. So before him you had gray hair, you would stay with gray hair. After him you had gray hair. In 5, 10, 15 minutes application, you don't have gray hair anymore. So it's a very spectacular innovation. Our founder, being a scientist, of course, our company is science-based and beauty is a science-based category. So I would say the first thing that L'Oréal helps with to shape the future of the beauty industry is by pushing further the science. We are big innovators, we invest a lot in science, and we try to elevate the whole beauty industry with stronger innovations, stronger science foundation. That's the first thing. And the second thing is we are a marketing powerhouse. We have the largest and probably the most competitive brand portfolio in the industry. We have a bit more than 40 brands worldwide. And of course, each of these brands are pushing their own way, elevating the category, and trying to answer in a better way to consumer needs and demands. We are pushing on the marketing front. And then the last thing, which is also very important, is everything that's non-financial. We talk today about financial performance, which is very important, but equally important is the non-financial performance. As a big player in this industry, we have a role to play to elevate our impact on the world, on nature, on the planet, on our consumers, on our employees. So it's about our commitments in terms of sustainability, social impact, and they are same thing. As a leader, if you engage into these topics, you drive the entire industry to follow you, because you're setting new standards and you're elevating the game. So I would say it's these three things that L'Oréal drives through science, through marketing, and through social responsibility. So first of all, we are super proud to have received this award. It's a great acknowledgement for all the efforts we are making as a company, for our employees, etc. I think what's important is we want to position the company as an attractive company for younger talent because of course we are recruiting all the time and we want to attract the best talents possible, and we want them to be happy and fulfilled within L'Oréal. What we are driving is, if you ask young talents today where they naturally want to go work, most of them would tell you that they are attracted by tech companies, startups, and we are trying to be as attractive to them by first, we've engaged very strongly into tech topics, so that's why you might hear that L'Oréal, we call ourselves a beauty tech company, and there's very strong foundation for that. We are very, very engaged into digital topics, personalization, data and AI, etc., etc. So that's one part of the things that we are trying to push. And then the expectations of younger talents today are very different from the expectations I had when I started working, where basically when I started working I wanted fast-paced, interesting work, and I didn't care too much about work-life balance. It was about being successful, going fast, growing fast. Today, when you talk to a 30, 35-year-old, their motivations are very different. They want a very flexible work life. They want to make choices for when they are present at work, not present at work. So our work policies are more flexible today than they used to be. We are trying to make sure that we foster a culture of a good work life. So we have, for example, a big program, a global program, which is called Simplicity, which says, make time for what matters most. We are trying to adjust our daily and weekly routine to, it's very basic, the things we're trying to do. We are trying to minimize the number of meetings we have and we are attending. We are trying to limit the number of hours where our mind is at work. So for example, we are pushing for disconnect moments. So today we are pushing to avoid emails, connections after work hours. So for example, I don't write to my management committee after 8 p.m. I don't write to them on weekends. We are trying to have a soft start of the week. We managed to, one thing we are trying to push to avoid that people work on weekends, for example, is we've banned meetings on Monday morning, which means that if you're late on what you're supposed to prepare on the week and you realize that on the Friday before the week starts, you don't have to work on the weekend, you still have the Monday morning where you can catch up. So that's simple adjustments to our working routines to make the life of all the employees more balanced. Yeah, more balanced. I think the main ones are more personalization. People are looking for solutions that are more and more specific, more and more adapted to their needs, more and more precise and relevant for the specific diagnosis they have for their skin or their hair. So personalization, I think, will be a key trend. And then this personalization will be enabled by tech. Because when you want to personalize, we consider we are touching today worldwide around 2 billion consumers. So it's important that it's tech-based, because if you want to personalize solutions for 2 billion consumers, it cannot be human-based. It has to be tech-based and data-based. So it will be more and more tech-enabled and data-enabled. So I think that's the second big trend. And then the third big trend is a topic I already mentioned, which is everything that's, I think the future of beauty will be more and more sustainable, more and more socially responsible, more and more inclusive. So I would say these three things: personalization, tech-enabled, and sustainable. Again, there's a lot of things that could happen. I think one of the major trends that's happening today is the aging of the global population. And by the way, Thailand is no exception to that. Thailand is an aged country. I keep on sharing with my team here, but also with my partners outside of Thailand, who all believe Thailand is a very young country, that Thailand is older than many European countries. Thailand median age is older than the UK median age. Anyway, this trend, this big demographic trend of global aging has significant impacts on the beauty industry. Of course, there's more needs for anti-aging solution, but the paradigm for the new seniors, let's say, is a bit different than before. The new seniors, there's a big keyword that's coming over and over again now. It's about longevity. It's about aging holistically, both from a physical and a mental point of view, the most positive way. There's a lot of research happening on that within the group. We are not ready, by the way, to communicate about that. We will have a big communication this year around longevity, but it's an area of research that is very important for us, and I think it's going to be a major game changer for the beauty industry in the future. As I was saying at the beginning, innovation is at the heart of everything we do. We invest massively in R&I. We have a very large number of researchers, formulators, scientists in the group because we think innovation drives beauty. Beauty is not a demand-driven market, actually. It's an offer-driven market. You create consumer demand with innovation, products that are never seen before, by pushing the efficiency of our formulas, by pushing the sustainability of our packagings. You manage to create new needs and new desires. So innovation is at the very, very heart of everything we do. With beauty tech, it allows us to accelerate this innovation. It allows us to utilize new ways of innovating through AI, Gen AI, green sciences, a lot of things that are powered by beauty tech, and it allows us to be more innovative. And we think that innovation is an absolute need to perform within the beauty industry. So it's at the very heart of everything we do, and beauty tech is an enabler for our innovation. Both programs are very different. Brandstorm is really about, first, it's a heritage program, which is probably more than 20 years old. We have students compete on a specific case. We try to have them bring extremely innovative ideas that sometimes we pick and we apply. So the idea is to be inspired by these students we see, but it's also to spot talents. A lot of our recruitments happen during the Brandstorm. So it's a way to see students facing a particular business case and bringing in innovation, creativity, rational thinking, etc. So this is a way for us to, communicate with the students of the world, brand a little bit our company as an interesting one. Today the Brandstorm is really a big program. I think we had more than 100,000 participants last year worldwide, so it's a huge reach, and that helps build reputation as a company that's close to students and that's interested in students because they are the future of our workforce. So that's one. And then on the Big Bang thing, it's about our relationship with startups and tech companies. Today, we already cooperate with a lot of startups, be it small or very large companies. A lot of these tech groups are a part of our ecosystem and we interact with them. Now, there are some of them with whom we want to expand the collaboration, deepen the collaboration, deepen the exchange and everything. And so we try to identify some startups globally, regionally, and locally in the markets. Startups that could bring some interesting innovation, ways of working, ways of doing the things we do today better and simpler, ways of innovating. There's plenty of application fields for that. We try to be closer to the startup community and the tech community because they are useful to us, and also because it's a way as well to build our image as a tech company, as a very collaborative company. We collaborate with the tech companies absolutely everywhere. And it's not only tech startups, it's sometimes very big tech companies. We are the number 4 largest media investor in the world. So you can imagine that we are very, very close to companies like Google, Meta. With these guys, we know they have access to a lot of data and information. I'll give you one example of something we did with Google in Thailand. With Google in Thailand, we asked them to map all the hairdressers of the country on Google Maps. And we worked with them to try to optimize the visit routine of our sales reps. Because when you master Google Maps, so Google is smarter than us at doing that. I'll take another example. Our professional division is very close to hairdressers and in trying to make the hairdresser community more sustainable, which is not always an easy thing, they started collaborating with a Swiss startup that is producing shower heads. But what's exciting in this Swiss startup is they actually produce shower heads that allow to, with the same rinsing power of the shower head on the hair and everything, to use roughly 60% less water. And so what we're doing, what we used to do at the beginning, it was a partnership with this company called Gyosa. We originally partnered to develop an exclusive product that we would equip our hairdressers with. So our hair salons, partner hair salons, we visit them and we change their shower heads so that they consume 60% less water. Okay? When you do that at scale, of course, you manage to save water resources for the planet. Of course, at our level, at the hairdresser level, etc. But there's no small effort. So we're trying to do that. We started with a collaboration with this company, commercial collaboration, and then because the thing was extremely well received by the hairdressers and everything, we decided to acquire this company. So today this company is part of our portfolio of brands and beauty tech startups that are part of the group. Another example, as I said earlier as well, sustainability is something very important for us. Sustainability is not just about the way we produce, how much our offices are green, or the type of products we sell. It can go all the way to the way we produce our content. So when we make video content for advertising, today we started measuring the sustainability impact of our content production. So for example, as we are a big advertiser, we have a lot of content and we produce a lot of content. And then how you produce it has an impact. So there we are using a startup called Impact Plus that helps us assess precisely what's the carbon footprint impact of the content we produce, we store, and we air. So we're pushing the boundaries quite far. It's not just the way we transport our products, it's not just the way our products are made, it goes all the way to the digital content we produce. So L'Oréal, it's a big part of our investments. Yearly, we spend a bit more than 1.3 billion euros. We've got more than 4,000 scientists at L'Oréal, researchers, people working at R&I. And they're working on a lot of different things. They're working on, of course, innovation, finding the molecule of the future, trying to raise the performance of our products, trying to raise the safety of our products. So all these are areas that we are trying to push. And then they're also extremely engaged on everything that's related to sustainability and the way we innovate and source our products. So for example, there's a big application field within L'Oréal which is around green sciences, which is about trying to source raw materials that are either bio-based, meaning sustainable, meaning you can reproduce them, because we have big commitments in terms of bio-based raw materials or minerals of abundant sources within our formulas, so that we make sure that whenever we sell a product, it doesn't have an impact on the planet's resources. So that's another field of research. An important field of research, because it's not that simple, is around packaging. Because if we want to make, again, the sustainability profile of our products better, it's not just about buying recycled plastic, making sure all the materials we use are recyclable. It's more than this. It goes also with some research and some science. When you want to, for example, produce super thin glass, and that's where we're heading, it's not just engineering. There's a little bit of research around that, how resistant, depending on the thickness of the glass. So there's a whole as well area of research which is around packaging innovation and how do we, again, improve the profile of our products. These are the types of topics. We talked a little bit earlier. I think one major field of research for the group today is around this idea of longevity. We talked about it earlier. So that's one of the things where a lot of resources are focused. Today at L'Oréal, there's everything that's under our direct control, we will have an impact pretty short term, meaning making all our sites plugged onto green energy sources. This is rather easy to do and we will achieve our targets because it's about being intentional, paying for the difference, because usually being more sustainable means spending more. It's when you buy recycled plastic to blow a shampoo bottle, recycled plastic today is more expensive than virgin plastic. So you have to be intentional about it. Having an impact on everything that's indirectly related to our business, so not our factories, not our offices, but for example, the way our people commute to the office, the impact our activity has on a day-to-day on the planet, that's also under our control, and we think we will achieve our targets. Then what's more complicated is a very large part of our impact lies in the usage of our products. Usage of our products, end of life of our products. In the usage of our products, and that's pretty much, 75% of our impact is actually once our products are no longer ours, once they have been bought by consumers and everything. For example, when you use a L'Oréal shampoo, usually you use it under the shower. Usually the water you use is heated, and that has a very big impact. So that's what we call the Scope 3 impact in terms of sustainability. And there it's related to consumers, usage and habits. And that's going to be the most challenging thing. To engage our consumers in the sustainable revolution is going to be the big topic of the coming 10 years. For us, but for the whole industry. And by the way, not just for our industry, for every single industry. So it's about explaining to our consumers that there are more sustainable options in terms of beauty products. For example, choosing a refillable product over one-shot use product is a sustainable thing. And we are going to push a lot our refillable products in the future. But then we come to more difficult topics. For example, explaining consumers that when they take a shower and they use a shower gel or a soap, their impact is going to be a lot less if they turn off the water while they use their shower gel. That's a bit our responsibility as well. So we're going to have to push the education and try to push this idea of more sustainable behaviors towards our consumers. And that's a big challenge, not only for L'Oréal, but for, again, all industries. In our culture, there's a few things that we think are particularly important. The first one is passion for beauty, passion for innovation. So it's really something we try to, I think it's really something that characterizes L'Oréalians. We call ourselves the L'Oréalians. Passion is one thing, then there's the entrepreneurial spirit. At L'Oréal, you can propose pretty much any idea. You'll be listened. It doesn't mean you will have the full license to operate it and do it. So we value that. We value people who bring in inputs, insights, new ideas, entrepreneurial ideas, and very often we follow them. So that's the second thing. Then there is, and I don't know if it's something very specific because I think today it's something that drives a lot of companies, but the quest for excellence. We sell products that are applied on skin, sometimes sensitive skin. You know, this quest for excellence is very important to guarantee the quality, the safety of our products. But then we also try to, we are very competitive. So in what we do, we try to do things always a little bit better and a little bit different from our competitors. So quest for excellence, I would say. And then there's two more things. The type of people we want to have within the company are people who are not shy because we want to hear their voice. We want people who have an opinion, but not only who have the opinion, who state their opinion. So we want people to be vocal. By the way, this works more or less well in different cultures because you have cultures where people are very willing to talk, sometimes too much, and you have other cultures where people are not so willing to talk, and so you have to navigate that. Specifically in Thailand, I would say people are generally speaking not so willing to talk. But there are ways to pick their brains. There are ways to have them talk. There are ways to put a frame so that they feel comfortable and psychologically safe to state their mind, state their opinion, state their point of view, state their idea. So it's really something we value. Well, and then the last thing is we are lucky enough to work in a business which is about the best version of yourself, etc. So it's quite a positive category. We like to work hard and perform, but we also like to play hard. So it's a bit of a balance of this. That's really part of our culture. When we're at work, we work super seriously, we are super competitive and everything. When work is over, we like to spend time together, we like to party together, we like our yearly kickoff everywhere in the world. But actually one of the best is at L'Oréal Thailand. Is a super exciting party and we have a great time. So it's about trying to be competitive together, but also trying to have a great time together. So one of the key values we have at L'Oréal is this ability to state your point of view, say what you think, state your opinion, say your idea if you think you have an interesting idea to share. This is very related as well to our stance on diversity. If you want to have different sets of ideas within a company, you need your workforce to be as diverse as possible. If you have a workforce that is extremely consistent and all the same, you're going to get one kind of idea or one kind of insight. Our products are catering to an infinite diversity, and we try to have a workforce which is as diverse as our consumers, because as soon as you understand it, because it's a way to better understand our consumers. One. Second, it's a way to generate more diversity of ideas. People that have a different cultural background, gender background, religious background, history, life history, etc. Will have a different approach to an innovation topic or to solving a problem. And of course, the more diverse the approach, the more angles you will have to judge what the best solution is, and usually the better the solution. So of course diversity is a very important topic and priority actually for L'Oréal. We are pushing for that through very simple acts that we do in every subsidiary of L'Oréal. For example, in every subsidiary we have diversity, equity and inclusion leader who treats about all these topics. We push the envelope a bit far. In some countries where diversity is particularly high topic in the agenda, for example, representation of minorities in advertising. And this is not an easy topic. In some countries, we have a diversity, equity, and inclusion board to help us improve the representation of minorities in our advertising. It's not a major topic today in Thailand. I think it will become a major topic everywhere in the world very soon, but in some areas of the world, it's an agenda we're really pushing as well. Exactly, because beauty is not an obsession for boys. The reason why it's interesting, for example, in our makeup innovation teams, we have a lot of boys, which is a bit surprising because you would imagine it's only girls applying makeup all day long, trying it, commenting the results, the effect, whether they like it, the shades, blah, blah. Actually, we have a lot of boys doing product development and innovation on makeup. I think one of the main reasons is because they're not passionate about the topic. When you're not passionate about the topic, you're probably more rational and maybe more a little bit realistic about the way you approach innovation on that topic. I don't know if there's a lot of women in the car industry. I have no idea. But I have to say that men in the beauty industry, they really bring something to the party in terms of innovation, ID generation, and so I think it's a great industry for men. The only advice is don't set any limits to yourself. I think it's about innovative people are people who think in a bold way, sometimes have very crazy ideas, and so that's the big advice I would give. Don't set any limits to your imagination. Be bold and believe in your ideas, because that's how innovation happens. Maybe two key things that sometimes the beauty industry is misunderstood for. One thing is working in the beauty industry is not only for girls. Actually, it's a great destination for boys, and I can tell you I don't regret 1 second of my career at L'Oréal. It was a lot of fun. And the beauty category is a super dynamic category. It's a very committed category. Consumers very informed, savvy about beauty. When you do marketing in beauty, it's extremely demanding, but it's extremely rewarding at the same time. So this is not a female-only business. This is for everyone. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is sometimes beauty is regarded as a less priority category. I was surprised during COVID that there were some products that were considered products of absolute first necessity, and that sometimes beauty was not considered in there. If you look at the beauty category, it's all but superficial. Beauty is a human need that dates back to prehistory. There were first signs, in these caves where you find wall paintings from prehistory. There are marks of makeup. So we know that maybe 10,000, 15,000 years ago, people were already using makeup. When you open the tomb of Egyptian kings and queens, you find a lot of signs of beauty. What does this mean? It means that beauty is an essential human need, and that trying to look your better self is something that you find with very young kids when they are combing their hair, young girls when they are using their first makeup. It's to look your best self. So it's not just a vanity category or a superficial category. It's actually you're treating on very, very essential needs. So when you work for the beauty industry, you work for pretty essential human needs. So that's also another thing I wanted to underline. One big thing that will happen is we are going to enlarge our brand portfolio. Today we operate roughly 15-20 brands in Thailand when the group has roughly 40 brands. We have a plan for that. Just this year we're bringing in 3 new brands. So we're bringing in the #1 Korean makeup brand in the world, which is called 3CE. So we are bringing this brand. It's here since January. In April we are integrating, because we acquired this brand, we are integrating a fabulous Australian brand called Aesop, which is the epitome of wellness, and if you don't know Aesop, I strongly encourage you to try, because it's very addictive product. Mid-year this year, we will bring the most premium and elevated brand of our entire portfolio. So super premium skincare. It's called Helena Rubinstein, and it's probably the most premium skincare you can find in the world today, and we think there is a space for that in this market. So first thing, in the coming years we will enlarge our portfolio, and we will bring new brand propositions to the Thai consumers. That's one. Two, I think we will be, and we are every day, but we will be more and more digital, data-based, tech-driven company. That's 2. And then 3, and that's more wish. I want to become the best company in Thailand to work for. I want to make this company a destination for young talents. I want them to want to work for us. There's some places in the world, in Europe, for example, for business students, we are ranked #1. There's rankings. We are ranked #1 in the Universum ranking. We are already the most desired company for business students. I would like the company to be an ideal destination for young talents who want to have an exciting career, a lot of space as well to propose things, and to have an entrepreneurial mindset in a big corporation. And also to have plenty of opportunities to work abroad, to come back to their country, etc. So that's what I would like to build. So the best company to work for, and at the same time, ideally, the best team. Because if we want to be the best company to work for, you also need to be the most desirable team. We want people to join not only this office, these brands and everything, but the team. So that's what the way I see L'Oréal in the coming 10 years in Thailand. All our Thai consumers and non-consumers, by the way, to our consumers, thank you so much for the support. To the people who don't consume yet L'Oréal products, please try, you'll be surprised. To those of you who want to have a super exciting work experience, please write to us, join our teams. Let's make the future of L'Oréal in Thailand as bright as possible. Thank you.